vuminji, vumingy, vumingy, vumingy. Hi again, welcome to another Oy'Nissh vlog, and in this video I'll be doing part 2 in the series of foraging for wild garlic. In our previous video during February, I gave you an idea of what wild garlic looked like in this area. They're quite small, and if possible, if I can show you what they look like, some smaller plants. They were about this size then in February, yes? But now it's March, and I did mention that as we approach mid to end of March going into April, they'll start to come into season. And throughout this area along the path along the River Est in Musselburgh, there are plenty of wild garlic to be seen just along the path itself. As you can tell, when they're a lot smaller, they weren't that easy to spot sometimes, but look how large they are now. And even 2 weeks time, some of them will get a lot larger. Some of them will start to flower soon. They start to come into season at different times. And just across the path, as you can see, it's everywhere. Lots of wild garlic. And these ones still get larger. Some of them, that is. So they're good for stir fries, you know, for making soups and all that. Oh, dog, yeah. So I'll show you some of the progress that have been made throughout the spring time. It's only the 4th week so far. So I think today is the 25th, 26th, Sunday. And I'm going to show you one of the region. Sometimes I wonder if it's nice to, when you go foraging, if there's a wild garlic patch, it's got a special name. There's a wild garlic area, the ground elder area, the nettle area, the wild leek area. If in a particular area, a particular plant is dominant, like where I'm going now. But this is just to give you an idea of where we are in terms of wild garlic in Musselburgh. And I said they are growing. There are some that are younger still, that are still coming into season and will be ready by May. There are some that are already ready, and there are some that will be better in April. So it's about judging the size. So we're going down into this nice little patch, which, as I said, it's not the only area along the path in Musselburgh, the River Est path. There are just so many different places with it, but I'm just taking you through this little one here. As you can see, it's just everywhere. It's just laden. I'm struggling to walk through it because it's so thick now. It is so thick. Look at it. I don't know if I can go through without stepping on some of them. It's just so lush. Just look at it. The improvement that have been made. As I said, there are some that are still quite small. There are some that are tiny. As you can tell, those won't be ready until way in May. There are some that won't be ready till the end of April, so forth. But there are some that are now ready. So they got different height and size because it means now there's a range of foraging options throughout the season. You don't all have them at the same time. As you can see, these ones are very small. Gives an idea that even up to May, you should get wild garlic in this area comfortably. Even possibly June, they won't all flower. No, you can tell that some of them are ready to be harvested, because once they start to flower, like this one, well, it's getting close to flower, so naturally they won't be growing any taller. So that's one indication that some of them are ready to be foraged, because once you start to see the flower, within a week's time the flowers probably start to open and all that, and then the slow process of death starts for the next season. So it's about judging what to forage for. Look for those that's got flowers that look as if they're about to open soon, and you know that those ones can be foraged for. And here's another one. It's strange because this one, look how small it is, and you can start to see the flowers coming through. Yes, and you might be thinking, but they should get larger, but not all of them get as large, and that's the thing. Some of them do get thicker than others. One good way of judging how large and thick the cluster is to try and grab through the stem bit. So here's a patch. So the idea is now to go through here and see how thick it is. As you can tell, without breaking it, yeah, this part is also. So this is an indication of one patch, yeah. Okay. And that's good for harvesting. But as I said, some do get larger than others. It's just how it works, you know. They don't all grow at the same size. So that's one of the things. Probably in other areas they get larger than this. It just depends on how much soil they can tap into and nutrients. There are various factors that affect the growth of wild garlic or ramson. In Oy'Nissh it's vumingy, or I use the term water garlic sometimes because I tend to find them along riverbeds and so forth. I just use that term, water garlic. Some people use water garlic for putting the actual clove of garlic in water, but I use water garlic as the plant itself, this, because it does consume a lot of water, and it's garlicky. As you can see, way back to that end, we've got wild garlic. And what you're not getting, as sometimes when I mention, when I do foraging vlogs, is the smell. That's what you're not getting, the smell of the season, that nice garlicky smell. But the idea, the funny thing is, you get that nice garlicky smell. Obviously, just the name wild garlic. But then you get the same with wild leek. You get the essence of garlic smelling wild leek, but it's a lot more pronounced in wild garlic than wild leek. Yes, in the vumingy it's a lot more pronounced. Also, if you notice with wild garlic or vumingy, the green leaves, yes, so it's a nice, this is not such a thick bunch. This one is nice and healthy. Look how nice and healthy this one is. Wow, this is nice. So this still have a bit to go, and you can see the flower is still quite young, so you know that it's got a little bit yet to go. Yeah. Now the good thing with wild garlic and wild leek, though they have that garlicky smell and taste, the secret to them is the green leaves. You know why? So this is wild garlic green leaf, yes? It's packed with chlorophyll, and that gives it an advantage over garlic clove, because you get that subtle taste of garlic. Well, I would say strong taste of garlic, yes, but because it's green and it's packed with chlorophyll, it's got its own unique taste. It's like you're eating spinach that has garlic cooked through it, but in this case it's all in one. Isn't it a nice way to get both your garlic and your spinach in one? This is, I sort of liken wild garlic as a spinach and a garlic come together, because then you can stir fry it, you can steam it just like you do spinach. But because it already has the garlic flavor through the leaves in the entire essence of the plant, then you get both, the best of both worlds, you know. So here we are. And wild garlic. So I need to get a few to take home. So I'm not here on any big foraging anyway. I just always take a little to make stuff when I go home. So let me see. For this, I'm going to put the head pro on so it's easier for me to cut and harvest and you can see what's happening. So I'll join you shortly. Okay, so I've got the head pro on. So I sort of tilt it downwards so you can see the floor. Let me just tilt it up a bit so you can see the journey through the area. As you can tell, it's quite lush, but I'm just here for a little bit, you know, maybe 2 bunches of it. So let's see. Let me see, I could probably get one here. So what I tend to do is I take some from one bunch. I don't always take all the bunch. I take some of this and put it in the bag. Yes. And then move on. I just feel that it's better to take some off a bunch so it doesn't look empty. The space doesn't look empty. And especially for other foragers. I always think that's one way of leaving some for someone else. I know it might look like plenty of wild garlic, but you know, one have to use their discretion. So that's why I just take a little off each bunch, so you don't even know that anything have been cut. I think that's the idea. So it means that others in Musselburgh can pop by and do the same, and everybody get to be a part of the spring experience, foraging experience, things that they can now do with their locally sourced organic stuff for them and their family. And then all I need is just one more cut, but here's a nice bunch. But again, as I said, only take a little bit of this bit and I leave some, come on, that big. Yeah, so I took probably half of it. And there you go, as you can see in the bag, just sufficient. That's all, yeah. Hopefully you're seeing all this, yeah. And that's it really. So let me just put this back. Yes, so that is it for the wild garlic. Make my way out. Yes, oh, pardon my big belch. Sorry. I called for some soup, wild garlic soup. Yes, so wild garlic, or in Oy'Nissh, vumingy, or I use this term also, water garlic, because I tend to find it in woodland and along water paths where rivers are. Generally, throughout especially East Lothian, and mid Lothian too, like Pennycook and so forth, you find like along the Glen, Roslyn Glen, Pennycook, so forth, wherever you've got river, you find wild leek and wild garlic. So I just call it water garlic. That's just my preference. But there we go. That's that. So as you can tell, it was a successful forage. But it's not so much just a foraging path only, but the idea that we're able to assess the size of the wild garlic, or water garlic I call it sometimes, or vumingy. There's another term they use, ramsons, yeah? How far the ramsons that have reached since February. Remember I did the pre-spring February vlog, and they were a lot smaller. As you can see in that area now, they're quite lush, absolutely amazing, which means that foraging can start now, but you have to cherry pick which plants to forage for. You leave the smaller ones that they come through in the late April, May, but the ones that are nearing to flower, then those are more likely the ones that you forage for. So you just have to use your discretion not to take the very small ones and let them mature into the season, and look for the larger ones. And I think it's ideal that they don't all grow at the same size, because it means that throughout spring, going probably early summer, you'll get wild garlic, but by then they aren't of the best quality. You might just be able to get few, depending, you know, on where you are. But this is Musselburgh along the reverse path, and wild garlic is all over the place. So that's just one area down that region, and I hope you enjoy this vlog, and I look forward to joining you in the next one, hopefully when I make a meal out of it. God bless.